Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Verde Valley Experience. I am your host, Jen Cohen. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you've been out enjoying the absolutely gorgeous weather. I'm seeing tanned faces and some sunburns. Don't forget your sunscreen. I know it's so tempting now that it's lovely to get out and soak up some sun, but be careful, okay? Make sure you do that. Great show for you today. We've got lots of fabulous guests with lots of great information. Our first guest today is Wayne Ranney, the author. He's retired professor of geology and an expert on Earth history. This man knows his stuff. Super cool. Wayne will be presenting Smitten by Stone, How We Came to Love the Grand Canyon at the Museum of Northern Arizona on February 16th. And he's here in the studio to share with us some of the fascinating facts about the Grand Canyon's epic evolution to fandom. It's really cool. And next, from Yavapai College, Verde Valley campus, we'll have Administrative Services General Manager Alexandra Helm-Correa and Rudy Rodriguez in to talk about the upcoming Verde Valley Sci-Tech Festival. Yeah, it's happening on February 23rd through March 3rd. Sci-Tech events will start picking up steam. That's part of the theme there in the Verde Valley over the next couple of months. Alexandra and Rudy will fill us in on all the details in just a bit. Then we'll have a visit from Buena Vista Children's Services Executive Director Erin Mabery. Erin will be in to talk about the kickoff event for their annual Early Childhood Education Conference and how Buena Vista is changing the culture of the Verde by promoting positive early learning as so to ensure opportunities for our children to engage in post-secondary education. That's a big sentence. And for our on-location segment, we'll head over to Camp Verde, to the Fort Verde State Historic Park, and talk with living historians Reggie Garnett and Jimmie. In honor of Black History Month, Fort Verde will be hosting a few of the members from F Troop, the 9th Cavalry of the Buffalo Soldiers. And history is going to come alive during their Buffalo Soldier reenactment on February 13th. Now, we're lucky enough to sit with Reggie and Jimmie, who are just brimming over with interesting and exciting facts and stories about being a Buffalo Soldier. Great event, so be sure to check it out. And we'll finish out our show today with a live performance from musician Alex Ogburn. His impressive musical talents allow him to gracefully and easily move through all the different genres of music today, but Alex really catches on fire when he does the blues. So see it for yourself in just a few. We'll go ahead and get started. Our first guest today is Wayne Ranney, author, retired professor of geology, and expert on Earth history.
Thank you, Jen. It's a pleasure to be here in the Verde Valley.
I bet. Of course, you know the Verde Valley better than anybody, I'm sure.
Well, at NAU, when I did my master's thesis, I mapped an area around House Mountain. Believe it or not, Sedona has a volcano.
All right.
And I mapped 75 square miles around this volcano, and we found some very interesting stuff.
I bet you did.
Yep, the volcano is between 13 and 15 million years old, and it erupted at the base of the Mogollon Rim, and in those ensuing years, the rim has retreated back away from the volcano. And all of that was unknown before my thesis. I saw something that no other human being saw for the first time.
Wow.
It was great.
Hooray for you. That's
Thank you.
fantastic.
Well, all geologists see things for the first time that nobody ever sees, so I feel like I chose a great field to study, and thank goodness we live here in the Verde Valley where we have so many interesting landscapes.
That is true. I know everywhere you look at something different, and different types of rocks and all the different striations and what happened on this level and that level, and we can see it all here.
You can see it all. Mingus Mountain, House Mountain, the Red Rocks, I love it.
Absolutely, me too. Now you talk all the time. I know you just did a talk, and then you have another talk tomorrow and the next day. It's amazing. But the two talks we're going to talk about at the Museum of Northern Arizona on February 16th. You're going to be doing a presentation. Tell us about that.
This is their living room lecture series. The museum does this, and at the old Colton House, the historic house of the founder of the Museum of Northern Arizona, they have what they call a living room lecture. And the title of my talk is Smitten by Stone, How We Came to Love the Grand Canyon. And you might think to yourself, haven't we always loved the Grand Canyon? And the answer is no. When the first Europeans came here to North America, they looked at the Grand Canyon, and it didn't have gold, and it didn't have many Indians that they could convert to Christianity. And so they deemed it as a worthless place. And believe it or not, the topic of my lecture is that for about 320 years, people of European descent looked at the Grand Canyon with derision. Wow. They did not like it. They thought it was just a barrier to travel. There was nothing of value to it. And what happened is that when the very first geologist laid eyes on the Grand Canyon, he called it a paradise. And it was really the geologist who announced to the world, at least the European world, that the Grand Canyon was a world-class landform that was worthy of study and protection.
Wow.
And most people don't know that. They think that people have always loved the
sure.
Grand Canyon, but
Right.
you know, it was just a hole in the ground,
Right.
if you'll pardon the pun,
That's
for
true.
many, many years.
And it was in the way. If you want to get from point A to point B, there's a big hole in the way.
And I kind of came to this idea by doing some research on the geology of the Grand Canyon. All the early people who had visited there used very negative terms to describe it.
Ouch.
Yeah. Probably the most famous would be an American Army lieutenant, Joseph Christmas Ives, who said, "The region is, of course, altogether valueless. It can be approached from the south, and after entering it, the only thing to do is leave. Ours has been the last, and undoubtedly the last party of whites to visit this profitless locality." And he was talking about the Grand Canyon.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah, we just don't know things like that.
And then in his party was the first geologist to see the Grand Canyon. They were riding side by side on their horses, and John Strong Newberry said, "This place is a paradise."
Yeah.
So Jen, if you ever have to go on a trip, don't go with the Army lieutenant, go with the geologist.
Definitely.
You'll have more fun.
That shows you perspective. The people in the same place at the same time with a completely different perspective.
So it's a wonderful lecture, and it's $10. You have to make reservations because the living room can only hold so many
That's
people.
true.
But this is a very popular series at the museum in Northern Arizona.
That's true.
And there are all kinds of lecture programs at the museum. They have an author lecture series. They have the Sedona Muses. I'll be giving their talk on April the 10th, Extreme Landscapes of the World. So long after this interview is over, I'll still be lecturing somewhere in the Verde Valley.
Yes, well, I hope so.
Yes.
Many, many, many years. Because
Yes.
you've got so much wonderful stuff to talk about. And in case we missed the one at the Museum of Northern Arizona, you've got to get your tickets early because, like I said, the living room is kind of small. There's another one that's coming up in Clarkdale, which is a little bit closer,
Yep.
on the 19th of February.
Yes, and this is a program put on by Pastor Ed Womack, and he's a former Methodist minister. And, you know, there's kind of a contrived controversy between science and religion, and Reverend Womack decided to start a science and religion series. So every February for the last 4 years, there have been 4 speakers come on Sunday at 2:30. It'll be at the Lutheran Church in Clarkdale or Cottonwood. I'm not sure which one, the one on 260. And that lecture, I'll be giving it on February 19th, but there's going to be a total of 4 lectures in the month of February. The first one is this weekend, February 5th, Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, my.
And I'll be talking about my new book, which is called Grand Canyon Monument to an Ancient Earth.
Beautiful.
And it talks about the story on how the idea, you know, some people have the idea that Noah's flood created the Grand Canyon a mere 4,000 years ago. But the 11 co-authors that have worked on this, most of them are Christian, but they also believe in an old earth. And so the lecture that I'll be giving at 2:30 on February 19th will talk about this perceived controversy and how there doesn't need to be a controversy. You can believe in geology and you can believe in religion, and both those things go hand in hand.
Wow.
That's what I'll be talking about.
That's quite a topic.
It is. It's a big
Actually.
topic.
Yeah, that's
And, you
long.
know, in this day and age, it's a topic that's on the tips of people's tongues a lot, you know,
Certainly.
the perceived controversy, but we don't think there needs to be a controversy.
Certainly.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Now, it says that you were a professor of geology. Where?
Yes, I was at Yavapai College at the Prescott campus for 17 years.
Wow.
I started in 1986, and after being there for 17 years, I came to the Sedona campus of Yavapai College, and I taught there for 6 years, and then 3 years at Coconino Community College in Flagstaff. And just this week, I was filling in for a professor at Northern Arizona University, so retired in parentheses. You know, I don't do it like I used to do, but I do fill in for professors who ask me to.
Right. Well, now you're a professional speaker. I mean, you go
Yes.
all over the place. You seem to have several talks a week.
Yep,
what
and
it
I get
looks
to
like.
lecture all over the world. I've been with Smithsonian Journeys and
Wow.
TCS World Travel. I get to go on private jet trips and give lectures about landscapes at the Taj Mahal and Machu Picchu, and been to Antarctica 32 times. If you're a geologist, you fall in love with landscapes, and I have just chased landscapes all over the world.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Well, it's
I
an
love it.
honor to have you on the show.
Well, thank you
Wayne.
very much. It's an honor to be
super.
here. I was honored to be asked to be here.
Where can we pick up a copy of your book?
Well, the book is sold at local bookstores. It's sold in Sedona and in Cottonwood. They have copies of it at the Museum of Northern Arizona. By the way, the bookstore at the Museum of Northern Arizona is a nonprofit, so you don't pay taxes on things you buy there. They have a wonderful gift shop with nice jewelry, and you can also find this book there along with many of my other books.
Excellent.
I have a book, Sedona Through Time, and Ancient Landscapes of the Colorado Plateau.
Wow.
Yeah.
Busy man. Yeah, wow. Good thing you're retired.
Kind of. I'm retired from some things, and now I'm just starting out in others.
Now you're really cooking on lots of other stuff.
I do 5 river trips a year in the Grand Canyon, and I love those, 7 to 10 days.
Wow.
It's paradise down there.
That's
We'll have to get
beautiful.
you down there.
Absolutely, Wayne. I'm all for it.
Okay.
Wayne Ranney, everyone, check him out. Check out his book and check out the wonderful, amazing lectures that are going to be happening. So you've got the one, again, that's happening at Northern Arizona, Museum of Northern Arizona on February 16th, and then the one that's going to be happening about the Grand Canyon Monument to an Ancient Earth on happening on the 19th. And there's a geology class at Ollie we didn't even mention on the 20th. Good grief. Check it out. So much to learn. And we'll be right back, so don't go away.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean,
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
separate, cook,
Fire in the hole!
and chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tight.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We are now here with Rudy Rodriguez and Alexandra Helm from the Verde Valley Yavapai College Verde campus. There we go. We'll shorten it because you each have like really long titles.
Yes,
Yes.
a little too long.
Which is great. I applaud long titles, but sometimes you just want to get on to it. So sure, of course. Now the Sci-Tech Festival is amazing. And tell us first of all about the STEAM portion. Now, what's going on there with that new the theme this year?
Well, it started as a STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And over the course of time, we've realized that arts was a big part of the STEAM program, and that's where the A in STEAM comes in.
Brilliant.
And then the full steam ahead, that's a new theme for the Verde Valley Festival this year. We decided to create a theme and use that as the umbrella for all the marketing and all the events for this year.
Brilliant. It's very eye-catching. I like it. I love themes. Anything with a theme is so much more fun. Now, the Sci-Tech events started in January, correct? They've been happening.
In February, March is the main start of the Arizona Sci-Tech.
Right, yes. February 23rd through March 3rd is the actual festival.
For the Verde Valley, indeed.
And what's going to be happening during the festival starting February 23rd?
Well, it usually kicks off the National Park Service is usually one of the first ones, along with the Verde Valley Medical Center. They're the ones who kind of kick off the events, starting on that first Saturday. And then there's events going on every single day of the week, all throughout the Verde Valley, ending on Friday with over at Yavapai College with their STEM Expo. So we've got events going on at schools, at the city, at the libraries, all throughout the Verde Valley.
Yes, I noticed. I was looking on the website, which is a great website. It's vvscitech.org. Check it out. All the information you could need on there. So I was looking on there and seeing all the different things that were happening. And then, of course, the culmination there at Yavapai College, which
Correct.
looks amazing as well.
Yes, we're very excited this year because in advance of the expo, we have 2 additional events that are focusing on art, or the A in STEAM, and that is on March 1st, Spare Parts, a free movie screening about robotics. And then on March 2nd, we're very excited to see Anthony Mazzella come to our campus
Yes.
for a free concert. And then, of course, we'll have the expo with the passport program. So if everyone under 21 participates throughout the festival or comes to the expo, they are in for a drawing. One of the, if you're under 21, you're eligible for one of 10 tablets that I have right here.
Goodness. That's
And we thank
exciting.
our donors very much for contributing to allow 10 of these to be given away. And then over 21, they get a few little goodies too along the way. So
Oh, way too fun. You know, that's an excellent motivation for the kids. a tablet.
absolutely.
You
They're
guys got
very
that down.
excited when they get these.
Oh,
you have no
yeah.
idea how excited they are to see
Oh
these.
my gosh, I bet. Well, you know, technology, man.
That's
Kids
right.
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
And it
love
helps them give a leg up, you know, with education. So they're able to, you know, many of them are not able to afford such a thing.
That's
And
true.
so it gives them a good helping hand in their education.
That's true. As the Administrative Services General Manager, Alexandra, what is your job around the Sci-Tech Festival?
Well, I'm part of the committee, so we meet monthly, and then I just generally try to focus on the expo, but I also have a hand a little bit in the marketing and just keeping in touch with the rest of the elements of the festival and making sure that, you know, we're fully participating. So
Excellent.
and we also I'm generally responsible for getting the donations for the tablets. And then for doing the marketing for the expo and associated events.
Excellent. Good to have you. That's for sure.
Well, thank you.
How about you, Rudy?
Well, I oversee finance and HR and a couple of other things at the city of Cottonwood. This is a break for me from crunching numbers. I'm not very as artistic as a lot of other people, so I pass it on to other people down at the state. We're very fortunate to have the Arizona Sci-Tech group down in Phoenix, Jeremy Babinger, who heads up that division, has been real good at helping us with all the artwork and a lot of the promotion that goes down there. We're also on the Arizona Sci-Tech Festival page on their website. But you know, traditionally, I just collect a lot of information and then ship it down to him, and him and his staff put it together. And Alex here actually keeps me straight and calls me, make sure I stay on track with a lot of stuff.
Very important. You
Well,
know? It's good to
definitely.
have
Definitely a
someone.
team
It's good.
effort.
It
Diane
really is.
Jones has been
Yep.
leading the Sci-Tech, Verde Valley Sci-Tech Festival since the beginning. And she continues on with us and is going to be also involved in a grant that was just awarded to some of the rural entities under the Arizona Sci-Tech organization. So it's a group event. There's many people beyond us that are wholly involved in this and put their support towards it in one way or another. So it's a big team, Verde Valley
Yeah,
group that works together.
absolutely. Great job, guys. Now, tell us a little bit about the expo. What does that involve? I know you have booths and all kinds of things.
That's
happening.
right. We actually invite participants from businesses and organizations to come and demonstrate how STEAM works within their organization or their business. We also include a lot of elements from Yavapai College. We have our ceramics faculty, a great artist by the name of Tom Schumacher will be doing a ceramics hands-on activity. Most of the exhibitors will have hands-on activities. We'll have career assessment and advising for many of these programs that we have, including the electrical lineman program. And we'll have UAVs from Emory-Riddle. We have the town of Clarkdale participates and APS. We have a lot of different companies who come in and help children and adults understand why STEAM is so important and why the education in science, technology, education, art, and math is so important as they grow up and they begin to become, more involved in a career choice. All of those elements can come into play.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. Wow. And the expo, how long does that go on and what day is that?
That is going to be March 3rd, Friday evening, begins at 5 o'clock. It'll end at 8. We'll have the drawing near the end of the expo. And no one has to be present to win. They'll be filling out a passport. And so anybody who comes to the festival along the way, ultimately those passports, if they get 6 signatures, or the expo gets 6 signatures from any of the exhibitors, they're in the drawing. So they do not need to be present. We'll also have our Kiln Yard Cafe open for bite to eat or a beverage, and that'll be open from 5 to 7, and the Southwest Wine Center with our student-produced wines will be open. And we'll also be able to give tours of that center as well, and there'll be tastings up there for adults over 21.
How about that? There's something for everybody.
That's right.
What are you most looking forward to, Rudy?
Reality is getting a rest.
Oh,
That's
nothing wrong with that.
But actually, it's a really good event all week long. There's a lot of things going on. As Alex mentioned, we have passports that are going to be available. Those passports, if not completed on one event, can be carried to the next event to be completed. And many of these events that we have, they have multiple opportunities to put in 2 and possibly 3 different passports. So if they can visit these different events, the more they visit, the more opportunity they have to get a tablet as well as one of the adult prizes.
The entire community is welcome to any of these events. They're all free and they're all really exciting. So we encourage everybody to come to all of them, and certainly we hope to see them at the expo on Friday night.
Thank you, Alexandra Helm and Rudy Rodriguez. Thank you guys very much for being here. Check out the Verde Valley Sci-Tech Festival, February 23rd through March 3rd. Check out vvscitech.org. We'll be right back, so don't go away.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We are now here with Erin Mabery, who is Buena Vista Children's Services Executive Director. It's a very important job.
It is. It's a big job.
Absolutely. For an amazing, amazing organization, Buena Vista Children's Services. Now tell us a little bit about that.
So our big focus is on early childhood. However, we do promote the whole child and the family and the communities that they live in. So we try to support those aspects of a child as they grow.
Right.
as best we can.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, every second with a child is an opportunity for learning and growth. So you don't want to just jump in and say, okay, we work with 6 to 8 year olds. It's like there's so much happening prior to that, and that sets them up for life.
Oh yeah.
So every
the
little
0
thing
to
that
5
you do,
age is so important.
huge.
With their brain development and social and emotional skills and all of those things. So we're in 5 counties. So but our home and our heart is here in the Verde and Pike County. So we have services all over the place. So we do all kinds of different things.
And you'll deal with child abuse prevention. Course,
child abuse prevention, which is huge. So especially when you're talking about the 0 to 5 age, we promote that prevention piece, which is kind of it's a big word, and a lot of people don't understand what exactly that means. Of course, with child abuse, people say that word and most people kind of shut down because it's ugly and everything. So we actually focus more on strengthening the families.
Yes.
And so there's 5 protective factors, and I hope I can get all these out. But building parental resilience, social and emotional connections, having concrete support is important for a family, and social emotional development and cognitive development. So all of those things and having the family understand the development of the child. So all of those pieces help make a strong family. So that's kind of what I was here today to talk about a little bit, was our event that's coming up.
Yes.
We hope to open this lens not just to specific families. Of course, we do a lot in promoting those families as well, but bringing it to our whole community and hopefully strengthening our Verde by working with these families and working with the people that live in the community, starting at a young age, and hopefully producing productive citizens of the community.
Oh my gosh,
so
yeah.
It's a little job.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay.
it's just a little job,
little
not
job.
too much responsibility.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
okay. It's
Yeah,
all good.
right. That's amazing that you've broken down the service like that, because it is parent resiliency. I mean,
Yeah.
They they tell you, oh, parenting, but they don't tell you, oh my gosh, how challenging it is, I have to say. And of course, having a support unit behind you and having an organization with you that can support you in creating a strong and healthy family is invaluable.
It is,
Absolutely.
and we have a lot of great resources in the Verde. I mean, we are a plethora of great resources for all of our families and our citizens, and hopefully we can get to the point where everybody knows where all those are. A lot of times we kind of pocket the different things that we do, and people are really focused on their little corner of things.
Sure.
So our event coming up is hopefully going to bring a lot of people out to see what all the Verde can do, and those strengthening pieces. Those pieces that are so important to raising healthy kids, kids that can move on to college and move on to tech schools or those kind of things. So it's a big piece, and but we've got to start small and somehow come together and bring all of our whole community together.
Gosh, yeah. Well, you're going to do a great job at the 22nd Annual Early Childhood Education Conference.
Yes,
That sounds amazing. Your kickoff event is on February 24th.
The kickoff event is the 24th. We've invited the whole community. We are bringing the Gurian Institute up from, they are an institute down in Scottsdale, actually. Michael Gurian has done a lot of work on developing curriculum about the difference between the boy and the girl brain and how those work. So a lot of teachers understand, we focus on either age groups or different disabilities or abilities or those kind of things, but this kind of is kind of fun because it breaks down to two genders, there's the boy and the girl brain, and being able to understand those two factors. So not just for the teaching community, but for the whole community.
Right, everyone can attend that event.
Everybody
on the
can attend
24th.
that event, yeah.
Right, and on the 25th is the annual Early Childhood Education Conference. Tell us what happens at that.
So we actually bring about 300 people from around the state to Yavapai College here in Clarkdale, and we're really proud of that. It's our what did you say, our 22nd or 23rd? 22nd, yes. And it's grown from, I believe, historically, we started with 4 people and somebody's living room was the first conference. And we'll have 28 presentations throughout the day. So those that are in early childhood will be able to come and get their professional development units for the day. And
I see.
And then also they'll be able to attend the Gurian Institute presentation, which we're real excited about. And also, even though they may not be from the Verde Valley, it'll be fun for them to come and see the different things that we have to offer here. So we've invited sponsors from around the Verde to showcase what they do to help strengthen families.
Wow,
So,
very cool. So there's a lot of information being given, and there's a lot of information to be had by all the organizations that are around. So anyone, you don't have to be an educator to attend this.
Definitely not.
Is there a fee to attend?
There is. So if you come, the night of is $25 at the door. You can register online for $20. If you have a group of 10 or more, it's $10. And if you decide that you want to have a booth, call Bailey. And all that information is on our website. Our event coordinator would be happy to hook you up with whatever it is that you want to do, if you wanted to showcase or just attend.
Right.
So,
What an excellent resource for someone. I mean,
it
as a
is,
parent, myself wanting to know more about how I can keep my child, mentally healthy and safe and strong in the environment, and to help her grow forward into a good person, which is all we really ever want in our children.
Yes,
Please be,
definitely.
grow into a good person.
Yeah, definitely.
And so much information to be had, and 22, and that's amazing that you guys have been going.
And we have other resources on our, so visit our website, bv-cs.org, and on there you can see that we are just starting I'm really excited about our parent cafe. Actually starts tonight.
Yes.
So it's like a world cafe for parents. So that will be kicked off tonight, and we have other parenting education opportunities as well. We just started Love and Logic in Clarkdale. We've got one in Beaver Creek going on, and so anyway, you can go on the website and see where they're at. And they're all free. The Love and Logic and Guiding Good Choices are those actually have free childcare at them, so you don't have to worry about what do I do with my kids.
Right.
So just go and learn. It's really good. So our child abuse prevention awareness campaign, we'll have another event in April at Mingus Union High School. So that'll be great.
Good stuff happening. Make sure to check out the website, bv-cs.org, bv-cs.org. Amazing stuff. Thank you for everything that you're doing for the community. It's fun. Wonderful, Erin. Really appreciate you. Erin Mabery, who is the Buena Vista Children's Services Executive Director. And we'll be right back, so don't go away.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, You're busy. Just go to the site.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We are now here at the fabulous Fort Verde State Historic Park. And in honor of Black History Month, February 18th, they're doing a piece on the Buffalo Soldier. Very, very interesting subject. With me today, I have two wonderful gentlemen from the F Troop and the 9th Cavalry of the Buffalo Soldier. We have Reggie Garnett and we have Jimmie Foster with us today. So much to say about the Buffalo Soldiers, but you guys do it a little different because you're not reenactors, you're living historians.
Correct.
Which means you pick a person, a subject, and you live their life, basically.
We tell their story, their life, because you have to, for instance, I represent John Alexander. He was the second black or African American to graduate West Point back in 1887. And he had a short career because he had a heart attack and he passed away. But for those 7 years, he got a lot of acclamations. He he was able to lead some troops. They even named a fort after him in honor of him.
Wow.
He was well respected by all of his peers. So that's one thing, is just to show that the fact that the Buffalo Soldiers, or African Americans, have been with the country, helping the country through, working its way through since time of inception.
Absolutely. I read that the Buffalo Soldier has fought in every major American war.
Correct.
Which is unbelievable.
Correct.
Think of the thousands and thousands and thousands upon African Americans who fought for this country.
Fought and died all the way from the beginning of the Civil War.
Yeah. How did you pick the particular person that you chose, Mr. James Alexander?
Well, actually, someone picked him for me, and
yeah?
I did some study on him, and I kind of found that it was interesting that he was the second African American to graduate West Point.
That's really interesting and very, very cool. How did you get involved in being a living historian of the Buffalo Soldiers?
Well, what happened was my wife and I were going up to an event, and I ran into these gentlemen, and at that point I just did some inquiry on it, and I was already interested in Black history, and it was intriguing. It just could continue my education.
Wow, that's great. And you're, of course, period perfect in your ensemble here.
All wool.
Yep. This time of year, wool's not that.
All wool, but we wear it in the summertime also.
I know. Yes,
Yeah.
It has wicking qualities, right? Keeps you cooler. That's what
Keeps
they
you
told
cool.
you.
It absolutely does.
Yep, absolutely. And I love that you guys have all the right colors on and all the patches in the right places and the right things on the hats. And you're wearing the officer's braid on your cappy.
Correct.
That's great. With the 9th and the F Troop. It's just wonderful. Where do you find this kind of stuff?
Well, we have to have it made, actually. Yeah, we have a tailor that actually makes these things for us.
Wow. It must be, it's kind of an expensive outfit, I bet.
It's a very expensive proposition.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, I bet.
Yeah, especially the officer's uniform. The dress uniform is like, the jacket alone is like $1,300. So all this stuff is very expensive.
My knees just went weak. Yeah, that's some dedication, Reggie.
Yes.
Thank you that much for your dedication. Now, Jimmie, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your story and who you represent.
I represent Sergeant Emmanuel Stantz. Sergeant Emmanuel Stantz was the first black man to receive the Medal of Honor. In May of 1867, he was put in for the Medal of Honor. He went on a patrol with 4 other enlisted men in search of 2 settler sons that had been kidnapped by the Native Americans.
Wow.
At a place called Kickapoo Springs, he ran upon the abductees and the Native Americans. They attacked, he got the 2 kids back, and the horses that were stolen. And on their way returning back to the fort, they ran across some Native Americans that were going to attack a wagon train. So what they did is they surprised the Khakis and ran them off and saved the wagon train. They didn't lose any men, they lost one horse. And for that, he was put in for the Medal of Honor, and he received that Medal of Honor in July of 1887.
Wow.
And that was the first black man to receive the Medal of Honor.
Wow.
But the other thing we do is we tell the history of the Buffalo Soldier. In 1866, President Andrew Johnson signed into bill allowing for 6 black regiments. Now, 4 of those regiments were infantry regiments. They were the 38th, the 39th, 40th, and the 41st. The 2 cavalry units were the 9th Cavalry and the 10th Cavalry. The 9th Cavalry, which we represent, was formed in New Orleans.
Oh.
The 10th Cavalry was formed in Kansas. And so that's where we go from there with the stories of those gentlemen and what their contributions that were made. There was also a black woman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. She joined, her name was Kathy Williams. She joined the Army under the name of William Cathy. She was born a slave. She was a cook for General Sherman. And after the Civil War, she didn't know anything but military life, so she joined the military. And she stayed in, and she was signed to the 38th Infantry. And she stayed in for almost a little over 2 years, where she became sick. And when they took her to the infirmary, or took him to the infirmary, they found he was a she. And she was honorably discharged from the United States Army.
Honorably discharged. That's the way to go. That is a great story. There's so much more to learn about the history of the Buffalo Soldier. You can check out Fort Verde State Historic Park. They're happening on February 18th. These fellows will be here. Thank you guys very much for what you're doing. Check out azstateparks.gov too, and you'll get more information there. Thank you, fellas. Reggie, Jimmie, thank you for being here. We'll be right back with more of the experience, so don't go away.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Want to see you here in the light. all of you here tonight. Baby, there's no mistaking how you feel. When you look in my eyes, you know what you see is real. And anytime that you're ready to be loved, baby, I'm ready to. I was dreaming, not quite asleep. You came in from girls' night out and made the floor creak. Baby, I don't mind anywhere you've been, as long as you come home, fall into my arms again and again and again. And anytime that you're ready to be loved, baby, I'm ready to. And anytime you're ready to be loved, baby, I love you true. Anytime,
Beautiful love song.
Thank you very
much. Really beautiful. This is Alex Ogburn.
Hello,
everyone.
hello.
Thank you for being on the show.
What a pleasure and honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
This is great. It's great
Thank
for
you.
me. I 2 years since I saw you, and I was like, I gotta get Alex on the show.
Oh, that's so
but
nice.
you're a man of mystery, international man of mystery, Alex Ogburn.
Right. Undercover folk singer, right?
Oh
No.
my goodness. Oh my gosh. You play so many different types of music. It's amazing to see you out playing at Vino de Sedona.
Thank you.
And you play so many different things in one night. And to watch you perform, you're fun. I love watching people who are fun. You're having a good time.
Yeah,
You're
I
engaging
love
the
it.
audience who wants to hear something.
I love
You know,
that.
you're a real person. I appreciate
you.
that.
Thank you
in
so
a
much.
musician.
Thank you.
How long have you been performing?
A long time. Over 20, 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Since you were 12.
Since I was 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. I'll be 32 next in four more years.
There you go. Very good. You look great for your age.
Thank you. Appreciate it. No, it's not true. No.
Now, what made you decide to go into being a performer? I know it takes some guts to get up there and play such a repertoire too. I mean, you have to be such a confident and talented person to do that.
Oh, I don't know. I never really thought about it much. it's something that I have to do really. I'm drawn to it. I feel like I have to get out and perform, and
right.
I love entertaining. It's just a great thing. It's a great gift to be able to share that energy with people and to make people feel different things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real blessing and a gift.
It is. It is definitely a gift. Did you write that song you just sung?
I did, yes.
That's beautiful.
Thank you very
that
much.
gave me lots of feelings.
Cool.
Oh, it was so lovely.
Thank you very much.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you play a lot of covers, but you do have a lot more of your own original music.
I do indeed, yeah. Yeah.
And as of yesterday, a recording artist. Congratulations.
Well, I finally broke down and taught myself to sit down with Cubase for Idiots, and taught myself to finally sit down with my recording program and learn Cubase, which is a recording program for multi-tracking and production and so forth. It's just fascinating. I'm blown away. I can't get away from my computer now. I'm just always sitting at the computer trying to learn more.
Sure. Well, now we get to look forward to your first album coming out.
Yes, I look forward to that.
In 3 weeks when you've mastered.
In 3 weeks, yes.
You have it all
3 weeks from
mastered.
next Thursday. Yeah.
Well, you're playing currently once a month at Vino de Sedona.
I'll play the second Saturday of each month at Vino de Sedona.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And that's a wonderful venue. It's great, whether it's
it's
outside
great.
or inside.
Yeah,
it's
great
just
people, great venue. Great selection of wine and food. It's good. Great place.
Yeah. I've been there a few times, I have to say, to see musicians such as yourself, and it's really nice to see someone play in that atmosphere. So, and as of all the genres, because I know that you can play everything really, really well, what's your favorite?
Well, I would have to say that would be blues. That is my favorite genre. My dad sat me down when I was 7 years old and said, "Here, listen to this guy. His name is John Lee Hooker, and you have to learn what this is. This is blues." And I was just blown away the minute I heard it. I just was drawn to it, and I love blues.
Yeah, it shows when you play the blues. You are on fire.
Interesting note: I was in Chicago last year and was able to go to Chess Records, which is where Johnny B. Good was recorded, Muddy Waters and Son House and Little Walter, all the Chicago blues greats. And I actually took my guitar, I snuck it in, and took it up to the recording booth, the old recording booth, which is defunct now, but I got to play my guitar in that room. So I felt like hoping some of that would seep into my being by being in that room.
Yeah, I bet it did. If not, it was a bucket list experience.
Indeed, it was a real honor to just.
It's good for you.
Nice thing to have.
That's amazing. So now you've got your once-a-month gig at Vino de Sedona the second Saturday?
Correct, yes.
The second
Saturday
of
each month.
And then you're just kind of pulling it in and working on yourself and making things happen for you. That's great.
Yeah.
That's really great. What's your aspiration in the next year? What do you want to do with yourself as a musician?
To complete a CD, and would like to be able to send some tracks to some friends of mine in Nashville and maybe even get a song cut. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to do that.
Well, you have a very unique voice. It's like a little bit of Elvis in there. It's like a lot going on, and it's perfect. It's perfect for blues and everything. It's just
I've got a little bit of a drawl.
Yeah. And you're from Florida, is that correct?
I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama.
I lived in Florida I moved here from Florida. I was in Orlando for 5 years.
Oh, very good, very good. Birmingham. I've been to Birmingham, Alabama. It's a nice place.
Have you? What do you think of it?
It's pretty.
It's a pretty
place. Green.
Hope you were there
here.
When it wasn't in the middle of summer, I hope.
It was, but it was pleasant because I was there from Florida. So, so compared to Florida, Birmingham, Alabama is nice.
Yeah, indeed, right.
What's the next song you're going to play?
I'm going to play some blues for you.
Okay.
Close it out with some blues. To make sure this is in tune.
Is it one of yours or is it a cover?
This is an old Robert Johnson song.
All right. The old
Mississippi
blues.
Delta blues, yeah.
Yeah, that area of blues is just wonderful. I'm fortunate my stepdad was very much a musician and was very much into the old blues, so I had a lot of introduction to that stuff.
You were exposed to quite a bit.
I was exposed to quite a bit
great.
of some unusual musicians, and I have to say, blues is definitely one of my favorites, especially the old Southern blues.
I was just in Vegas at the House of Blues. A guy was sitting in there, and the solo player, and his name was Al Eck. E.K. was his last name. He's from he had Swedish origin, but he played the most amazing slide. I was just blown away. It really reignited my passion for it. I hadn't seen anybody play like that in so long.
Wow.
Awesome. It was awesome.
You get around.
Yeah.
You go to all these really cool places. That's impressive. Well, if you want to get around, you want to see Alex Ogburn play at Vino de Sedona the second Saturday of every month. It's a great show. Great show. Really
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
This
I really
is
appreciate
wonderful to have you.
Thank you, Jen.
Really appreciate you performing for us.
You're awesome.
The blues.
You're
Yay!
awesome. Thank you.
So I'm going to leave you with Alex Ogburn and a wonderful blues song. Thank you so much for watching the Verde Valley Experience. As always, check us out on VerdeValleyTV.com. You can watch this show over and over and over again. You can check us out on our YouTube page, of course. That's always a good thing. And of course, Facebook. Check us out on Facebook. I post lots of pictures, and please comment and like us and share with your friends and all that stuff. Social media rules.
Yes.
And so on. So we'll see you next time.
All right. Come on in my kitchen. You better come on in my kitchen. But it's going to be raining outdoors. A woman that I'm loving took from my best friend. Some joker got lucky, took her back again. But you better come on in my kitchen. It's going to be raining outdoors. I know she's gone and she can't come back. I took her last nickel out her nation sack. Well, you better come on in my kitchen. Yes, it's going to be raining outdoors. Can't you hear that wind howling, baby? Oh, can you hear that wind howling? Now when a woman gets in trouble, everybody puts her down, looking for her good friends, they none can be found. Yeah, but you better come on in my kitchen. It's going to be raining outdoors. I said, you better come on in my kitchen. It's going to be raining outdoors. You better come on, baby, in my kitchen. It's going to be raining outdoors. Woo, you better come on, baby, in my kitchen. It's going to be raining outdoors. You better come on in my kitchen. It's going to be raining outdoors.